aware of
Allow me
the real challenges of
to
Nigeria.
jump in for a minute. Is it possible that you are downplaying the political significance of Peter Obi?
Insults. Rufai, your take on these stories?
And that's what I didn't see from the interview yesterday.
That was Mr. Peter Obi speaking yesterday on television. Well, these are phrases. We will fight insecurity. We will rebuild the economy.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Look at
He won in Lagos in 2023. He had over 80% of the votes in the Southeast. And could it also be that he may be speaking to those Nigerians you acknowledged earlier on in this conversation, may not necessarily be feeling the benefits of the Tinubu policy yet? And he's saying, you know what, I can do better. Is it really not a threat to your party in 2027? Is that what you're saying?
Obi was produced by an unusual situation.
They should start telling us how. We should see an idea. It's the idea that we want to debate the workability of the idea.
For me, I just feel irritated by the whole thing. You understand?
Congress, NDC. He says he's going to lead the war against insecurity, corruption, and then rebuild the economy. I think that all the political parties, not just the NDC, should by now be engaging the Nigerian public with manifestos.
Hello guys, welcome back to Shika Film. It is over a day now since Peter Obi had an interview on Channel TV, and this interview has generated a lot of reactions from every part of the country, from APC, PDP, NDC, just name them. Just like the last interview he did on Rise TV with Charles, which also generated a lot of reaction that APC has to send their own surrogate, their own apologies to TV station. To the extent, Wike has to do a press conference just for that interview. But this time, who did they say? It is Oshomole that is now running from one station to another just to go and be disgracing himself. And when they say Oshomole is living in a full paradise, this is a very clear example of it in this interview he did. But before we even continue talking about this interview of Oshomole, how he disgraced himself, I want us to first look at this response from Ruben Abati and Osani Rufai, what they have to say. Then we'll come back and discuss Oshomole and his disgraceful interview. But before we do that, guys, please, if you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, click on the bell icon so that whenever I drop any latest update, you will be notified. Thank you very much.
Congress, NDC. He says he's going to lead the war against insecurity, corruption, and then rebuild the economy. That was Mr. Peter Obi speaking yesterday on television. Well, these are phrases. We will fight insecurity. We will rebuild the economy. I think that all the political parties, not just the NDC, should by now be engaging the Nigerian public with manifestos.
Insults. Rufai, your take on these stories?
And that's what I didn't see from the interview yesterday. I didn't see how. See, we can't run a country on vibes. And I must have to say that again. By now, if elections are in what? In January.
It's a few months, yeah.
We are in August. At first, we have not seen manifesto, 6 months to go. Yeah. Secondly, we are not seeing proper articulation of how you will do it. In fact, I think all candidates should stop telling us, I will do this. They should start telling us how. We should see an idea. It's the idea that we want to debate the workability of the idea. And that I didn't see. I didn't see a lot of that. We'll fix insecurity. How? And please, with fixing insecurity, people should stop telling us this, I don't want to share my operational details. Nobody is saying you should share your operational details. Because as a candidate, you can't have operational details. Operational details are specific to operations. Hence the name operational details. Nobody is saying you should share that. What we are saying is overarching details, methodology, how you are going to do it. That's just it. Methodology, even understanding. I mean, you can talk in the line of what you're even going to do to doctrine, military doctrine. What do you want to do? What kind of military do you want? Do you want an offensive fighting force? Do you want a modern aid military? What kind of military spending are you going to do? From the look of things, where do you think you can slot your firepower? Do you want to put in drones? Do you want to put in fighter jets and the likes? What kind of military do you want? What kind of equipment do you want for your military? Do you want to increase your naval firepower? Do you want to increase your intelligence firepower? Do you want to set up a new cyber security articulated vehicle in your military where you have a cybercom that can equally be used for intelligence gathering and tracking what is going on. What kind of military do you want? Do you want an agile military? Do you want a very nimble military? I mean, these are things as regards technicality and methodology. These are the things I want to hear from our candidates. Power sector, what would you do as regards them? About creating thousands of megawatts. Major problem in the power sector today is transmission. We have 13,000 installed capacity, but why are we not seeing more than 4,000 or 5,000 megawatts? Capacity for transmission. Are you going to put investment there? How are you going to raise the equity for the investment? I mean, those are paramount questions. So please, we want to see more of those details. And that's what we want to drill in to the brass tacks of in this season.
I know for the start, I know that Ruben Abati is never a fan of Peter Obi. And that's why they call him, sometimes people do say he's the tribal bigot because he's a coded supporter of Tinubu government. Everybody is waiting for an answer from Peter Obi, forgetting that Peter Obi is not even the president of Nigeria. Peter Obi is a candidate. We've forgotten that we even have a president that we don't even see to question anything related to Nigeria. When you question Tinubu, his handlers will be telling you not to ask any question again. Just like this video that is playing beside me here. When he was asked, how will you face insecurity, how will you fight insecurity in Nigeria? And he was saying nonsense. And you see this guy here that is telling the interviewer not to ask any question. Now let's come back to Oshomole interview. We'll talk about that later in the day. Now let's go to Oshomole interview. Let's watch what he has to say in this TVC news, where TVC station, which is friendly to Tinubu, he still went there and disgraced himself. He could not answer a question that was asked of him. So now let's watch it, then we'll come back.
Against what the opposition is saying, because they say that this government can do more. The NDC presidential candidate Peter Obi was on Channels Television yesterday, and he argued that President Bola Tinubu, who governed, that the Bola Tinubu who governed Lagos is not the same Bola Tinubu now in Aso Rock. In fact, he said that the president is tired and should be allowed to retire. He also argued that Nigeria needs a president who is visibly at the forefront of managing the country's crisis. How do you react to that position, and why do you think that perception exists?
Well, let's face it, the Peter Obi that was governor of Anambra State is not the Peter Obi of today. Because the Peter Obi of Anambra was one who said, as a matter of respect to the memory of Ojukwu, he will not ever abandon Abga. But before daybreak, once his tenure ended, Obi became a political wanderer, and he immediately find alliance with perhaps the kind of people Ojukwu will never have related with when he became a running mate to Atiku Abubakar. And I looked at him, and I've said this several times. You look at his lifestyle to be able to project what he will do if he were to become president, which he will not be anyway, God willing. Obi is a trader. Traders have short-term calculation. They are not into long-term projection. They are not wired to think of what situation will be in the long run. Their turnover is within 3 months, maximum 6 months. It is a manufacturer, an investor, an entrepreneur that understand how you can start a project, sweating for 2-3 years to lay, like building a factory, and then going to import machinery to install before you start producing. Nigeria was virtually grounded. Obi is not aware because he's busy trading. Number two, I have said to people, Obi's business is to export job and import unemployment into the country. That is what he lives for. He's a trader. He runs a shopping mall. And you go there. There was a time I went to buy red wine in one of his stores, and I was told Peter Obi was the sole importer of a particular brand of red wine, whether 2 Ocean or something from South Africa. So an importer doesn't have the capacity for long-term projection.
That's Oshomole.
But Bola Ahmed Tinubu is someone who believes that for your tomorrow, we must do certain things today, painful as it will be. I have given this example before. If people only knew that Nigeria was at the breaking point at the time Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over, if they understood the seriousness of the situation, I can only compare it to a man with a grade 3 or almost grade 4 cancer.
That's Oshomole.
And then the doctor is called in to do a surgery, and that surgery has been done. Now we are beginning to see the benefits.
I hear you.
And
is it possible?
Increase more and more. And you do not expect opposition to acknowledge what is possible. You can see the ease with which they dismiss when a foreign power speaks nice of Nigeria. They are angry. When somebody make negative comment about Nigeria,
is it possible that
you remember this is the last one I wait. This is the last point I will make. For you to see the desperation of Obi and how far is completely unaware of what is happening around this environment. When we have this xenophobic attack in South Africa, and every Nigeria was justifiably angry, myself inclusive, I watched Obi on the electronic and print media saying that Nigerians in South Africa would prefer to die there than to return to Nigeria. Because first I suspect his business, and he said he had just returned from South Africa. He didn't tell us what he went there to do. I guess he went there to repackage some imports that he wants to bring from South Africa. And that Nigeria prefer to die there than to come home. Somebody who wants to govern Nigeria. Number 3, do you really believe that anybody whose business is for real, who couldn't fix a state in 4 years, he worked hard in 8 years, he didn't fix it. He's telling you and me at our age that he just needs 4 years. That is the height of desperation. And once you are desperate, you become emotionally imbalanced. And you are not capable of... For me, Obi will be the easiest person to engage in a real debate.
Senator Oshomole.
Because he is not aware of the real challenges of Nigeria.
So the first thing you have to take away from this view, if you don't take anything, is that when Peter Obi said that Tinubu is living in a bunker, that Nigeria cannot see Tinubu to ask questions. That whenever you ask question, it is Tinubu surrogate, Tinubu apologies that will be going to one place or another to answer the question that Nigeria is asking of Tinubu himself. This is a very clear example that Oshomole is not the one answering for Tinubu. Where is Tinubu? He's living in a bunker, as Peter Obi said. Now, first, Oshomole said Peter Obi is a trader. That because Peter Obi is a trader, he does not have a long-term plan. You guys will not blame Oshomole because Oshomole has never had any business in his life. He does not know that a trader do aspire to become a manufacturer or a producer. He thought once you are a trader, that's where your life ends. You can't blame him. Oshomole does not have any business. He has never done any business in his life. What he has done is work on Nigerian Labour Congress and then become a governor by opportunist. I would say Oshomole is a political opportunist. And if you ask him, when he was the governor of Edo State, ask him what business or what company, what manufacturing company did he brought to Edo State? We'll wait for that answer till the end of this video and see if we'll get anyone. Now, before we continue with Oshomole, the second part of that interview, I want us to listen to this question that was asked of Peter Obi by Shion. I think this was a get you question where he asked him, is a Kwankwaso an asset to you? And the way Peter Obi responded to that question was somebody that will tell you how smart, how one step ahead he is to all these questions that is being asked of him.
Kwankwaso for you is a big asset that you think can help you win the election.
Kwankwaso is not, don't say is the asset to me. Kwankwaso is the asset to Nigeria. Kwankwaso believes in pulling poor people out of poverty. A combination of us will tackle the issue of poverty. He believes in education. He believes in healthcare. Kwankwaso believes that poor people should be given a chance. And that's this country. We must give the young people, poor people, a chance to live.
Finally, do you think Nnamdi Kanu's activities or some of his actions were wrong?
Of course, yes. Of course, yes.
If you become president, would you do something different about Nnamdi Kanu's case? You said the man did not do anything.
Everybody.
He cannot be criminalized because
no.
he just spoke.
No. Remember what I said? They're holding a fire now. They said he spoke. I won't do it. I will take them to court. I won't even go outside to arrest anybody. If they're in any country, like they've done with the other man, I will complain to that country and say, these people are destabilizing what we're doing. We follow the law. If the court grants them bail, we'll obey it.
It doesn't matter whether they're Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba.
It doesn't matter where they're coming from. Whether it's the war or anything, I will give them due process of the law.
Would you forgive Nnamdi Kanu?
If the law, if I take them to the court,
would you grant him clemency?
No. If I follow the process, and that is possible, I will do that. Not just him. The law has to apply, even to me. We must do things according to the rule of law. We cannot stay in a country where court grants people bail. We said no. Court does it. We said no. If court grants you bail, like they've done in El-Rufai, you go home. If I feel we cannot manage it, you can go to your house and we secure your house. There's other people who can hold you on house arrest, but we cannot put you in detention where you don't have access to your family.
Are you able to forgive Kenneth Okonkwo?
The thing is, Kwankwaso is not an asset to me. Kwankwaso is an asset to Nigeria. Because he believed in education, he believed in healthcare, he believed in that a no man's child will become somebody without knowing anybody. That is the mantra. Now let's come back to the other part of that interview of Oshomole. And this time he was asked, are you guys not underrating Peter Obi? If Peter Obi could win Lagos, he won over 80% of the Southeast. And you are still saying that Peter Obi will not win anything. And this is how a grown-up man who was once a governor of a state talk.
Allow me to jump in for a minute. Is it possible that you are downplaying the political significance of Peter Obi? He won in Lagos in 2023. He had over 80% of the votes in the Southeast. And could it also be that he may be speaking to those Nigerians you acknowledged earlier on in this conversation, may not necessarily be feeling the benefits of the Tinubu policy yet? And he's saying, you know what, I can do better. Is it really not a threat to your party in 2027? Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all, not at all, not at all. Look at it this way. Obi, I've said this, many people may not agree. Obi was produced by an unusual situation when a ruling party decided to destroy itself as to make anybody running election on his platform unelectable. It is that confusion that brought those votes to Obi, and I can speak to it. Those elections were held against the background of former President Buhari, may his soul continue to rest in perfect peace, when he suddenly changed the color of the currency, virtually confiscated people's money, and people they have money in the bank, they can't access it. They go to ATM machine, they queue all night to get 10,000, and after a week, even the ATM were dried of cash. People started going to what they call a POI or whatever it is. And I remember one statement somebody made, and I said that captured the situation. That why will you queue all night to withdraw 5,000. Then you go and queue for 2 nights to get 10 liters of PMS. And then those people expect that on election day you are going to go and queue to vote for them. It is this anger that, in my view, was deliberately created by the president before Tinubu. This Emefiele crazy attempt to choke and suffocate the system once he was not able to contest for president. It is that anger that produced Obi, because people were already tired of PDP, and they don't remember that at a point, PDP discussed the idea of changing their name. Now, they were fed up with PDP. Now, the APC that came in decided at the eve of election to create maximum hardship. An elderly woman in my village asked me, he said, Adams, you do well for everybody. Anything you say make we do, we go do. But how you come be say, you pick send her money, back say money don't come. He go back me the get money, back say the money no day. Make it go POS. He go POS, he won't take 5,000 naira. POS man say he go take 2,000 out of the 5,000, he go remain 3,000. How you go come survive? And you are running, and now not there for government. I said, no, me, I'm not there for this government. Oh. The thing where Buhari they do for this time, oh, not be APC policy, my own policy. So it is that anger in the land.
Oshomole, it is 2026 now, and I'm sure that
naked in the back hall, who say, look, he has been demystified, he has lost respect before his family.
Yes.
You know
that
because he couldn't get money, and people were dying not because they don't have money, but because they couldn't access the money. It is that anger that produced Obi.
Many Nigerians
said, you know any other thing yet, but Obi.
Distinguished.
Let me tell you, Obi is not the Obi of 2023.
Distinguished.
It's not. If it's the Obi of 2023, it will
we are running out of time now.
Party.
Allow me to bottle for.
So if you are to take anything away from what Oshomole said there, is that last time they did not win because Buhari government tried to limit how much that can be spent during that election cycle. So there was no money to buy more voters. That is the reason Peter Obi could get 80% of the Southeast, win Lagos State, and win many other states in Nigeria. So their belief now, if I were to understand what he's trying to tell us there, is that their belief now is that they now have the federal pulse, they can buy the unbuyable, pay billions and trillions of naira. That's why every day you hear padded budget, trillion pay for subsidy that they said they have removed. These are the reasons you hear that story. So they prepared a bucket of money that will be spent for this election to just to rig it and buy votes. Now, let's look at what Peter Obi said in that interview that is generating a lot of reactions. He said Tinubu is living in a bunker. Is that not true? How many times have you guys seen Tinubu to ask a question? When you ask Tinubu a question, people will be answering for him. Even when he went to Africa Summit, they asked him question. That's how he shrugged his shoulder. I don't know. God of Israel, how did we get here? Everybody is looking for a manifesto from Peter Obi, forgetting that we have a president who have never produced a manifesto, who has been given the opportunity to deliver, but till this very moment, he has left Nigeria worse, or is piloting Nigeria worse than he met it. But Reuben Abati is not having problem with that. He's having problem with Peter Obi because Peter Obi did not tell him step by step of how he's going to solve insecurity. They should wait for manifesto. Peter Obi said that they will see the manifesto when times come, and they should wait for that. Election has not started. So this time, it's just wetting the ground and making things in order. By the time election starts properly, campaign starts properly, the manifesto will be provided for everybody to see. I hope they will also be dragging APC to produce their own manifesto. I leave you guys here today. I will see you again. I will do part 2 of this video because I don't want it to be too long. Then see how Nigerians are reacting from APC to NDC to Labour, whatever you name them. But before I go, guys, please, if you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, click on the bell icon so that whenever I drop any latest update, you will be notified. Thank you very much.